All right, first of all, thank you for everybody that is watching the videos, that are liking the videos, that are leaving comments on the videos, that are hyping the video. I appreciate you. You understand? Right now, if you're watching this video, then more than likely you've been watching the rest. This is part 2 of Puerto Rican Righteous testifying against the team, the Supreme Team, and also Gerald Prince Miller. Now, I have to give a disclaimer, man. Unfortunately, if you watched the last video, I was reading in the office and I miscalculated where I stopped. The camera actually stopped before I wanted it to. So that's why I stopped abruptly like that. So I don't know how many pages we actually missed. My fault, guys. We didn't miss that many. It could be anywhere from, if I'm taking a guesstimate, 1 to 5. Right? So let's just start from here. And this is still a good place. You understand? I feel bad about that. But let's carry on. So, just to give you an idea, the questions are coming from the cross-examiner, which in this case looks like a Mr. Batchelor, and Piniella is Puerto Rican Righteous. So, he will be doing the answering, and the questions are coming from the cross-examiner. Alright, so, that being said, let's just get busy. What did you do with Mr. Riley? I didn't do nothing. He just was following me. He just followed you around? Yeah. Is that right? Yes. And when he followed you around, where did he follow you around? We was on one side of the street at first of the projects, and he followed me to the other side. And did you ever tell him that you had just knocked off 2 banks in Brooklyn? No. Did you ever tell him that he was to, quote, cover your back? He said he wanted to be involved, so I said if anything happens, you could watch my back if you want to. Okay. And did you ever tell anybody that you had sent Mr. Riley to the store that day, and that's the reason why he tagged along with you? The reason why people were following me is because I had money, and these guys are out late at night getting high, and they ain't got no money. So what you're telling us, sir, is that people follow you around late night because they're getting high and you have money. Yes. If you see certain individuals in the projects, believe me, they ask you for money. If they know you making money, if you have money, then you hand them a gun and you say, I'm going out to shoot somebody. Is that about right? I say, I told him what I was going to do. He said, yo, can I watch your back? After a certain discussion, I say, yeah, sure, if you want to. Yeah. I gave him a pistol. He asked for that gun? Yes, he did. All right. And when you were arrested, did you have that .357 Magnum out? Yes. And did he have that .38 out? I didn't know what he was doing. Okay. And were you pointing that gun at 2 cops? I had it out, yes. I asked you the question, did you point it at 2 I pointed at the shadows. I seen a bunch of people coming. I pointed in that direction. Yes. Okay. And is it your testimony that you are going to plead guilty to conspiracy to kill those 2 police officers? I might. Well, what is your plea agreement? If I have to plead guilty to that, you know I will. Did you conspire with Mr. Rowley to kill those 2 police officers? I told you what happened. I pulled the gun out and it happened to be the police. I'm saying, did you conspire? Agree with Mr. Riley to kill? I never told Mr. Riley nothing. Like I told you before, I gave him a gun. He was watching my back, that's all. Well, let me ask you again. That's all he did, correct? To my knowledge. Are you going to plead guilty to that charge because you are guilty, sir? Or because you got a plea agreement? I'm going to plead guilty because I did endanger the life of police officers. Of course. There's a lot of difference, and there not, between endangering the life of a police officer and conspiracy to murder a police officer, correct? You're the lawyer. No. I don't know. Has your lawyer explained that to you, sir? Well, you know, it ain't come that time yet for me to plead. Continuation. Plead guilty, so you know. Lawyer. You mean during the time that you have been with your lawyer over these 3 years or so, he never discussed with you about the difference in the charges? Or the once? Yes, he did. Okay, and did you fully understand that? Yes. And do you fully understand that there's a difference between conspiracy to murder, which carries 25 to life, and endangerment, which carries about 5? Do you understand that? Yes, I understand that, yeah. But you still, as we sit here, haven't entered a plea to that, correct? Correct. Sir, I'd like to ask you a little bit about the Baisley Projects because we have seen a brief thing of an apartment, chart of an apartment. I'd like to ask you about that. Baisley Apartments, by the way. The Baisley Projects. The Baisley Projects are 8 buildings. Is that right? 5 buildings. 5 buildings? Yes. And they sit at the corner of God Brewer? They sit at the corner of God Brewer Boulevard and Fox Street? Is that about right? Yes. And that's one corner, yeah. That's one corner of it? The buildings are only 8 stories high? Is that correct? Yes. And the building that you spoke of with respect to events that you testified concerning these murders was located where, please? Right across the street from the A&B cab stand on Fock. On Fock. The back, you have been shown certain photographs. The back of that building faces another building across the street, does it not? Yes. And is that a project building too? Yes. What is the name of that, please? You mean, what's the name of that building? Is that still, that's building 2. That's building 2. And building 2 faces the back of the building where you say the bodies were taken out? Yes. But we are crystal clear that, let me ask you this, the floors. There are only 8 floors in all of those buildings. Is that right? Yes. In the building next to the one where these events took place, that's only 8 floors high, correct? The one right behind it, correct? Yes. And the one on the side of it, correct? What side? The one on the... If we are facing the street, the one on the right hand side, they are all 8 stories high. Is that fair? The Baisley Project buildings are all 8 stories high. So if somebody said that they were cooking crack on the 11th floor, that's an impossibility, is it not? There's no 11 floors in the Baisley Projects. So if somebody said that they cook crack right next door to the building which you have just described, there is no 11th floor, is there, sir? There is. I just told you, there's no 11th floor. In Baisley Projects. I just want to make sure. Now let me ask you, the traffic on a Sunday, on a summer night on Fock and Guy Boulevard, would you say that in July there's a fair amount of traffic? A lot of traffic out there? Yes. There's a lot of traffic on Guy Brewer, right? Yes. And in the projects on a summer evening, there's a lot of people sitting out in the park, in the front part of the building. Is that correct? Yes. And there's a tremendous amount of foot traffic that goes back and forth on Guy Brewer Boulevard. Isn't that correct? Yes. And isn't it a fact, sir, that as you go out of the back of the building and you face the building opposite across the street, that building there is a bus stop right opposite that? Yes. Correct. In addition, isn't it a fact there is a halogen light or a very powerful light right over the rear entrance? I don't know why it says right. Hold on. Of the building. Okay, right over the rear entrance of the building. Well, you know, it's supposed to be. I don't know. Okay. If you don't work all the time, let's slow this down. He says, okay. Puerto Rican Righteous says, it don't work all the time. If it is, isn't it a fact that there is another powerful light right on the corner of the building? Yes, there are street lights. Yes. Not street lights. Lamps? Yes. The lamp. Yes. Isn't it a fact that there are 3 street lights that run along Guy Brewer Boulevard starting at the corner? What you mean 3? There are a lot of lights there. There's a tremendous amount of light? Yes. Isn't it a fact, sir, that the housing police was located in the building right across the street? They got a room on the other side where they sell drugs. Yes. I'm asking you, isn't it a fact that the housing police occupied the building that faced the rear entrance? Isn't that a fact? Yes. Isn't it a fact that the perimeter of the building, the housing police had scooter patrols that went up and down there? No, I don't know nothing about no scooter patrols. Did you know anything about housing police patrols that were run in Baisley Projects in July of 1989? They come through. How often if you can give us your best recollection. Not a lot. Not a lot. How many would you say? The building that faces you. About how many windows in that faced you? Would it be fair to say there could be as much as 100, 150, or 200 windows that face the rear entrance? I don't know. There's a lot of windows, of course. It is the back of the building. How far is it from the back door when you come out of that building to go on the street? Will you give me that it's about 27 or 28 or 30 yards? Yards? Yes. A lot of feet. Yes, a lot of feet. A lot of feet? Yes. The building. The traffic goes both ways on God Brewer. Does it not? Yes. How long did you say that the events of that day in July, that evening in July, took from the time you took the first body out of there until the time it was over? Roughly 2 hours. 2 hours. And did you start about 8 o'clock? Or what time did you start? As soon as it was getting dark. Well, what time was it getting dark? To the best of your recollection. I know you weren't looking at time, but the best of your recollection in July, when you say these events took place. I don't know, about maybe after 7 o'clock. After 7 o'clock. Yes. Okay. So your testimony is that you started moving those bodies roughly after 7 and finished perhaps 9 o'clock. Is that fair? Yes, around there. Now, sir, do you remember? I know you have been interviewed, by the way. You have been thoroughly prepared by these people before you testified. You have met with them, if not hundreds of times. And that's where we're going to stop right there. Now, let me just say this. How much time we got? We got about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to keep it real. From reading a little bit that and I read more than this. Puerto Rican Righteous had a real nonchalant attitude, right? Like he wasn't, in my opinion, this is only my opinion. I don't know if he was telling to get out of less time. It felt like he was telling for another reason, right? Now, obviously, we know the rumors that somebody has slept with his wife, but it seemed like he had a arrogant aura about him that he knew his ability. Like he knew he get busy in the streets, he get busy wherever. It don't sound like he was no coward, no none of that. We're going to thank y'all for hit the like button, hit the hype button. There's a lot of murders that's taking place in these testimonies. That's all I'm going to tell you. We only on part 2. I did miss some of the pages up, but I forget, apologize for that. But I promise you, ain't no more pages missing. And we got about 400 more pages to go. So, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the hype button for your boy. Alright? I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace out.